guys, King of Charms here. Today I'm your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you my top 3 tips for team building for Open Great League for the Pokemon Go World Championship. So, Open Great League is probably the worst format this game could have ever done because Open Great League is filled with evil. And what I mean by evil is high barrier to entry mons that are either insanely hard to get, or you have to do a lot of other means to get them because Open Great League is monstrous. It's filled with XLs, it's filled with really powerful legendaries, and as far as I remember, every person that has won so far at a regional has used an XL or a legendary. In other words, everything is so freaking powerful. With that being said, for those of us that are privileged to play it, like you and me, those of us that are able to shell out that money to get those Registeals, or to even just have those resources available like gyms at our home, or like even just like friends or a community we vibe with, that makes us very fortunate. And the most important of all, the ability to travel to said event so that you can actually compete. Some of you asked if I'm going. I'm not going to a world champion. I'm not going to a regional. I was shooting for one, but it clashes with work. Long story short, I'm a therapist. If I get sick, that's not the best idea, and BA2 for coronavirus is actually going off right now. Along with that, all of the regionals for the United States are in the East Coast. If by some reason some snowstorm goes off and my flight's delayed going back, I don't want my clients that I see on Monday to be without me because of the fact that I was irresponsible, that something happened and their treatment is more important than a video game. Whether or not that I would have won Worlds or not, like I mentioned, there are more important things than Pokemon Go PvP. But for those of y'all that are competing, or for those of y'all that would seek to compete, here are my top 3 tips. Because this is, no matter how you spin it, these are really the 3 ways our teams are really built. And based off of the ones that have already won, super meta is kind of the way to go. But before we got started, my mental health tip of the day is to have a little faith in yourself. A lot of you, your average Joe, you can actually take Pokemon Worlds or Regional Tournament. To put it out there, literally, I think everyone that's won so far wasn't like the #1 like Sylph player or whatever. In fact, every like Sylph monolith has actually been knocked out, and yeah, they've actually been knocked out and didn't take it all. So the ones that have won it either have not been legend yet, or they just haven't invested as much as the other players that have competed. So the #1 seeds or whatever, if you have to seed everyone, it doesn't matter. They actually didn't even win it. So you can be the average person that goes out there and do it. Go out there, do your best, build your team to the best of your ability, perform the best skills you can, and remember what happens. This is the same advice my jiu-jitsu coach told me, and my MMA coach. My MMA coach was a former flyweight champion, or not flyweight champion, but challenged a former flyweight champion, arguably the best flyweight in the entire actually the best flyweight of all time, Demetrius Johnson. He challenged him, Chris Carriasso, and he told me this: if you're meant to be a champion on this day, you will be champion. And I heed that advice because in jiu-jitsu, wherever I compete, if I'm meant to be champion on this day, I'm going to be one. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you every single inch of hell I can muster before I give up the ghost. So far, 122, I'm 60 so I'm undefeated. So I guess I could brag about that a little bit. But at the same time, my time will come. If I was meant to lose on one of those days, I'm meant to lose on one of those days. So same thing with Pokemon, with any of the world championships. Have a little faith in yourself, go out there, do your best, and who knows, you might never know if you're going to make it or not. And for therapists, if you want to apply that to therapy, we do something called motivational interviewing, or some form of motivational therapy, so we can motivate our clients to go ahead and overcome their obstacles, which is basically what I'm trying to tell you right now. Go out there, go fight, and you never know if you're going to win or not. Anyways, without further ado, these are my top 3 tips for team building for Pokemon Go World Championships, and let's get started. Alright, so tip number 1 for team building is going to be super meta. This was the team that took the previous tournament, the EUIC, and as you see, it's filled with nothing but super meta. No matter how you spin it, there's no intricate strategy whatsoever that's really done with this. Everything is super overpowered. It features Registeel and its newly buffed Zap Cannon, as well as Medicham XL, Mandibuzz, which means unless you actually build one with rare candy, etc., has to be hatched from 12k eggs unless someone trades one to you. So, and all of these are just super meta. Trevenant has destroyed Open Great League at one point in Go Battle League, and these are all super meta Pokemon. As you see here, grades across the board in Open Great League, you're not going to find a lot of weaknesses for a lot of teams. This team actually rips through a majority of the meta and features some of the most powerful mons in the game. As you see here, an insanely low threat score. It's super meta. Generally, super meta teams are going to have low threat scores. This one in particular has a low one as well. But that's usually the way to go. A lot of trainers in the tournament, like 90%, 99% of teams, I would say, are not spicy at all. Spice is nice, but unfortunately, if you're trying to take it all, it'd be wise for you to use most of the most powerful mons, or in this case, a full super meta team. Whereas everything is just super powerful, everything is high pacing, high damage, can eat a lot of damage, and every mon can pretty much vibe with each other. You can create a lot of teams with super meta teams, as in your team of 3 are generally very, very powerful. For example, in this team, I could easily create, if I had to make one, for example, we got Walrein, we'll do Walrein lead, Trev safe switch, and then you'll have a Mandibuzz in the back or something like that. Or you could put Medicham XL, or you can use Medicham XL as your safe switch. You could use Trevenant as your safe switch. You could even use Walrein Shadow as your safe switch if you want to break shields with ice. If you want a powerful closer, you got Registeel that, or you can put Galarian Stunfisk in the back or Medicham in the back as well, because those are powerful super meta. They have very powerful coverage moves as well as the ability to close out many matchups. Again, super meta, probably the first one you're gonna go. So everything super meta would be, I would say, literally top Open Great League mons. If you're invested in this video, or if you're investing competing here, you will either likely have a super meta team or the other 2 teams I mentioned here. Super meta is probably what you're gonna see though. You want to win and you want the easiest way to win, play super meta. Obviously you could still lose, but 'tis the nature of Go Battle. Reality is, outside of there's not really a lot of depth in a Pokemon Go PvP, so you can use super meta and it will absolutely be this powerful. Alright, team building tip number 2. Mostly meta, but one spice pick. So in this case, for this team, I believe this is the number 4, or I think, yeah, the number 4, who placed number 4 at the EUIC, they use this team. And Talonflame may not be such a spicy pick, but if you look up in the rankings, it's rank 160. But Talonflame isn't a bad idea. In the holistic Open Great League format, there's nothing that actually walls Talonflame with Flame Charge and Brave Bird. Nothing resists both moves, so that makes Talonflame insanely powerful, and for a Talonflame to make it this far in the top 4 is actually really freaking cool. But, as I mentioned, one spice pick and the rest are super meta. Unfortunately, no matter how you spin it, no matter how you team build, something super meta can actually come out with more win cons than a team that had spice picks. There's a reason why that out of this whole entire, all of the tournament regional so far, there's no team out there that's had super spice and made it super far, because that's how much of an oppression super meta gives you. However, you can absolutely do this. Super meta plus one pick gives you one fun little pick that you can use and you probably use really well. Talonflame does really well, as I mentioned, because of its ability to, it has no mon that resists both of its moves, at least in the meta. So you're likely going to go ahead and do really well with it. To reach number 4 is no joke, and to reach number 4 with Talonflame in your team is actually really great. For this team in general, not a lot of safety. There wasn't a lot of safe switches you could really see for this, but in a sense there was, just because with Medicham, Walrein, and Deoxys defense can all function as safe switches. So those 3 Pokemon can function as safe switches. Nidoqueen's there to kill those Azumarils, as well as give you a great matchup against fighters, given you don't have shields and you don't get one-shot psychic by a Medicham. However, against the overall meta, this team does really well. Somewhat high on the threat score range, however, there's not one mon that will beat this entire mean, or you have one counter to a lot of teams. As you see here, against this team was very interesting because Medicham was used a lot, and as you see, the number 2 highest threat was definitely Medicham. But, as I said, with a team of 3 of super meta and mostly meta and just one spice pick, this team could still come out with plenty of win conditions because most of your team is still meta. Even if you use your spice pick, like I mentioned, Talonflame is spicy in the sense, however, it still is incredibly powerful Open Great League pick. This is a style you can do. I did something like this, but I actually used the last tip I'm going to give you, which is this team, the 3rd one that's upcoming. Alright, last but not least, the 3rd one is to actually use your most powerful Open Great League team and Go Battle League, and then you build a team around it. In this case, I'm using the example for the person that plays 2nd in the UIC. I think this is the team they used by what my friends told me. So this features the third most powerful team in Open Great League, or I think one of the top 5, is actually, I believe it's Sableye, Medicham, and then you have Registeel in the back. So that's the third most powerful team, and you could just build a team around like this one. So you could build the team you like the most. So if you feel like lost or anything like that, what you can do is like, okay, you don't know what to run. All right, run your Open Great League team. So run your Open Great League team. If you run that team the most and you're super comfortable about it, no matter what combination you face in this tournament, you should be able to either 1, find win cons, or 2, you recognize it and you gather information. Typically what happens in show 6 for pick 3, you can change your leads or whatnot, or you can do anything. The fact of the matter is there's just really no way to predict it. I have predicted opponents' lines at first, but that's only because on the 3rd battle, I guessed at what you like to use the most. Now, if you use the team you like to use the most, sometimes that team is so powerful that you can use it, or those components just mesh together well in the system that you can use for this tournament. The thing about show 6 and pick 3, yes, it's still show 6 and pick 3. So since you're not going through all 6 Pokemon, it's still the game of luck. Who can read who picks who does who, and who does what. In an Open Great League format, that kind of makes it a little harder because everything in Open Great League is obscenely powerful. So unless you just hard counter the crap out of your opponent, yes, you can still find win conditions, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be really freaking difficult to do. In this case, again, this team is still really powerful. You have 3 really good save switches, if not 4. Trev is a good save switch. You have Azu, of course, which is a powerful save switch. You also have Sableye and Medicham. Those 4 can function as save switches really well. So this is a 4 team with super powerful team. You also have Skarmory, Registeel. Of course, Registeel is super powerful, along with Skarmory, one of the most prominent flyers in the game. And there wasn't really a lot of electric types that I saw in this tournament, so Skarmory actually does really, really well. Outside of seeing things that wallet like Registeel, oh, of course, your best friend Galarian Stunfisk, which isn't your best friend if you're running the Skarmory versus the G-Fisk. But still, like I mentioned, you can run your most powerful Open Great League team, and you can build 3 components around it. Which, if you do, it's very flexible because, again, you're very comfortable against a whole number of combinations, and your supporting cast are still super meta mons. So, with that being said, you can build and make a really efficient team that can take you and place really high in a regional or an international tournament. And that's GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully this gives you a kind of good glimpse of like how to team build. Honestly, there's no magical formula that's going to help you to win this tournament or have some obscene advantage in an Open Great League format like this. There really isn't. Everyone that's literally are like the top players have all gotten beaten by people that don't play as much as them, which I find pretty freaking hilarious because, you know, we puff up our little superstars, our like monoliths, and they weren't even able to take the fall. But anyways, that just shows Pokemon Go PvP. Again, anyone can beat anybody on any given day. Y'all can beat me. Y'all can beat anybody out there. And it's funny because these top people that everyone thought would so much take everything didn't even show up and take it. It's not like Jiu-Jitsu where you can have Gordon Ryan coming out here and you're like, oh god, it's Gordon Ryan. He's going to kill everyone. That's literally what happens. Or for my white class, he's retired, but I forgot. His former legend dude, like, yeah. Yeah. But that's basically what it is. Pokemon Go PvP, as far as building from the meta, hopefully this gives you a good idea what to do. If all else fails, default to super meta, because super meta still wins. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully it does help you out. So do me a huge favor, please like, subscribe, and comment. As you see, there's as you see next to that little, on the bottom right, there's a subscribe box. You can easily put your mouse over and subscribe. Also, please comment for the YouTube algorithm. Stuffle Squad, you know what to do. You already know that name. If you know that name, you'll know what to do. But I also stream on Twitch on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll probably go back to stream Pokemon Go PvP soon, or I will definitely go back to stream Pokemon Go for sure, when the next season comes out. Because as far as the interlude season goes, I have no real interest. But I do want my Stardust. So, with that being said, do me a huge favor, please. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.